Okay, let's move on to chapter 4. Chapter 4 is chapter 4 is talking about um, expression. Okay, expression. In Chinese called 运算. In Chinese, it's called 运算式. It's an expression. Uh, she is emphasized on expression rather than on statement. Uh, any expression is built from variable, constant, and operator. There's another name called operand. Operand. So variable or constant can be an operand. What is operand? Operand is something that operator would take impact on operand. So operator will using operand to do its operation. Okay, so one is called operator, one is called operand. Say we have variable A and B. Okay, and then B is equal to A plus 5. Now this is equal sign means assignment. Okay, and A first plus sign, addition sign is an operator, and A variable and a constant phi is are operand. Okay, and this two operand is manipulated by this operator addition. Okay, and after these two operand is add together, we get a new result, and this result will be used by this assignment operator, and the result will say to the B variable. Okay, we say to the B variable. In memory space, you have a location reserved for A and a location reserved for B. Okay, so suppose in A we have 10. Now we take the value of A, we get 10, and plus by 5, we get 15. Then by this assignment operator, we will say 15 to variable B. So in B, conceptually, you can see 15 in B's location. Okay? Now, she has a lot of collection of operators. Okay? Many operators in C. And we will continue to take a look at all these operators that are commonly used. Okay? Now, including if we classify the operator in C, we can, the first type is arithmetic operator. The second type is relational operator. The third one is logical operator. The fourth one, assignment operator. Actually, we see a lot of assignment operator already, which is this equal sign. This equal sign is an operator. What we mean by an operator? It means some action, some text performed by the computer CPU. Okay? And then we have an increment and decrement operator. We will see this later. And many others, okay? And many others, okay? Now, arithmetic operator. This is very common, and we use them a lot in our in many applications. Arithmetic operator, most common one is the top four. This is addition, plus sign is addition, minus sign is subtraction, and asterisk, or we call it star, is represent the multiplication. Okay? In computer language, this star is usually in many, I don't know if it's all programming language or not, but as I know, many computer programming language using star to represent multiplication. Okay? So in math, we say 5 times 4. But in computer language, we will write it as 5. Where does it go? Okay? It will be written as 4 star 4, 5 star 4. Okay? So, and then the slash is division. Okay? So A is divided by B. Okay? And this is much more easier to understand, because when we type in actual language, in math, we usually say A over B. Okay, we have a bar. Above the bar we put A, below the bar we put B, and in computer language it is impossible for us to type in something like this. So in computer language, we've written it as A slash B, and this put in 1 line in computer language. Okay, and then percentage signs means remainder. Okay, which is the result of division. Okay, of 2 integers. Say 5 divided by 4. The result should be 1, and the remainder is 1 also. Or 6 divided by 2. The result is 3, and the remainder is 0. Okay? Now, this operator, percentage sign operator, is just calculate the remainder. Okay? It did not take the quotation of these 2 numbers. Okay? It just take the remainder. An operator is called binary. Binary means 2. Okay? Means 2. Okay? Means 2. If an operator is binary, it requires 2 operands. Okay? So what we see here, addition, minus, multiplication, division, and the remainder, they are all binary operators because it requires 2 operands to be take effect. Okay? And they are also unary. Okay? Unary arithmetic operator. Unary means 1. Okay? Means single. Okay? The 2 common one is plus sign and the minus sign. Okay? If we have a variable, we written it as V is equal to A and put a minus sign before. And this is mean we change the size of the value in variable A and then save to variable B. Okay? So supposedly in your memory, we have we have value of 5. Now after this statement, first we take the value of A got a value of 5. And then we put a minus sign before, means we change the size of the value. Now 5 change the sign, it becomes minus 5. Now minus 5 will, then computer will do this operation. This operation called assignment. The minus 5 will save to the memory location of B. So B will have a minus 5. Okay, so this minus sign is honorary operator because it has an impact on single operand. Okay, it has impact on single operand, one operand only. Okay, single operand. On the contrary, binary has an impact on 2 operands. Okay? So this is what I will say. Okay? So this is plus 1. In fact, you put a single 1. You will get the same result. Okay? And this is changing the sign. This is just the example, exactly the example that I just showed you. Honorary operator plus that does nothing. Okay? Because the value you put a positive operator before, it does not do anything on the real value. But it's just to do some emphasis or to make your program more clear for the reader to understand. Now, I percentage J is I is divided by J, then we take the remainder. Okay, we take the remainder. Okay, so 10 percentage 3, we got value of 1. Because the remainder is 1. And 12 percentage 4, the remainder is 0. And so the result is 0. Okay? All the arithmetic binary operator, they allow mixed integer and floating point variable. Okay? Integer or floating point operand. They allow to mix. Means if you plus an integer with a float, you do the addition. It's okay with C compiler. But it really did is change the storage method, change the notation of integer into float. Okay? And then these 2 floats are added together. Okay? So it's legal to do mix operand. But there's only one exception. The exception is the percentage signs. Okay? Percentage signs means take remainder, and you can only use 2 integers to do the remainder calculation. Okay, so for percentage signs for remainder, you should have an integer before and an integer after. Okay, you cannot use float to as an operand for percentage sign or remainder operator. Okay, when an in and a flow operand are mixed, which is this case, such as this case, the result will become float because the integer will change into float, and the two float will do the computation. Okay, so 9 plus 2.5, and 2.5 is a full value. It's a floating point value. Now, so 9 will change into 9.0. 9.0 is a floating point value. Now, 9.0 plus 2.5 become 11.5. Okay? Now, you do this 6.7, which is a floating point value, divided by integer 2. Before we do the actual calculation, this 2 will change into 2.0 floating point. As I mentioned, as I emphasized last week, C cannot do different type of operation. Okay, so different type of computation. So you want to do the floating point divided by another integer, which computer CPU will not be able to do it. You have to change 2 into floating point representation. Then 2 floating point can do division. Okay, so you will get 3.35. Okay, the result you get is 3.35. Okay, so division and percentage sign operator need a special care because you do division on 2 integer, and the result will be integer. And the way to do it is truncate, is chop up, is cut the value, no matter what, after the decimal point. So 1/2, 1 is integer, 2 is integer. The result, the accurate result, the accurate mathematical result is 2.5. But in C language, you will get 0 because 0.5 will be dumped, will be thrown away. Okay. Now percentage signs also. Okay. Percentage sign also. Both are slash and percentage signs is doing division computation. Now, as most of people do know that 0, okay, any value divided by 0. What is this? Okay, we say undefined. So computer also, you divided by integer 0 or floating point 0, it will cause you undefined behavior, or your computation will be stopped, and the program cannot successfully execute. So you have to be very careful. You're using division and the percentage signs. You cannot put the operand on the right hand side as 0. Okay, no 0. So a careful programmer that will check the variable, okay, on the right hand side of these two operators. If they are equal to 0, then they will not allow to do it. Okay? Okay, some so-called implementation-defined behavior. What is implementation-defined? It means in C standard does not specify how to deal with a certain situation. And this is part to the compiler provider. Okay? The provider or compiler will consider various hardware performance to do proper calculation. And some of this is called implementation dependent. So it's best practice that you do not use in a format or using a syntax. They are implementation dependent. Okay, you better use the standard one. Okay, something is not defined in standard, you better not use it. Okay. Now the next topic is operator precedence. Precedence is so-called Yuxian trend. It's talking about who has the priority to do a computation. Now, everybody knows that 先乘除后加减. Probably in the elementary school, the math teacher teach you that 先乘除后加减. It means 乘除 have a priority over 加减. It means multiplication and division, okay, should do first, and then do addition and subtraction. Okay, so when you see this statement, you got addition signs here, you got multiplication operation here. So you can have two kind of interpretation or two kind of, because in this statement, in this expression, you have two operations you need to do. One is plus, one is addition. The other one is multiplication. So which one you should do first? It depends on the precedence. It depends on the precedence defined by C language. So in C language using the same precedence priority as regular, as a common mathematics priority rule. So I plus J times K. It will do J multiplied by K first. Then the result will add with variable I. Okay? So this is what I say. Okay? Because multiplication has higher priority than addition. Okay? 先乘除后加减. Okay? One solution to this. Supposedly, you want to do, because as I mentioned, you have two computation here. One is addition, one is multiplication. And under the default rule, of C language is multiplication is done first and then do the addition. Now, supposedly you want to do addition first and then do multiplication next. What you can use is using parentheses, okay? You using parentheses. You put a parenthesis between put a parenthesis on the left of variable I and on the right variable j. It kind of change the priority, okay? Change the Eusian chain, okay? Now, so you can do this, okay, to change the priority. Now, you can also write your program in this way, but you will get the same result as this way, because in default rule of C language, you will do multiplication first and then do addition, okay? So parenthesis is very powerful. In another way to say it is parenthesis has the highest EST, highest priority. Okay, it will change any rule set by C language. Okay, so every time you see parenthesis, it will change everything. Okay, it got the highest priority of all computation. Okay, operator precedence. Okay, this is the default C operator precedence. So plus sign and minus signs, which when it is unary, means single, means it put before a variable or before an expression, okay, is unary because it operate on a single operand, okay? So it's called unary. When it's unary, it has the highest priority. And then this multiplication and division and the remainder has a second priority. The lowest priority is plus sign and minus sign. Maybe I should call it addition and subtraction. This is binary operation. So you see two different plus sign and minus sign. On the upper plus minus sign is unary, and the plus minus sign in the lower priority is binary. Even they are using the same symbol or the same character. They can represent two different things. In here, it's unary operator. But when we put A plus B, it's become binary operator. When we put A minus B, this minus sign become binary operator. This additional sign, this plus sign become binary operator. Okay? So, example, I plus J start K is equivalent to you put a parenthesis here, okay? Because in default rule of C, they do multiplication first, so it's just like this expression. That is in this way I'll written the program. So you're not sure about the precedence or priority in your expression, you can always put parentheses to make sure. Okay? Now, what's this do? Minus I star minus j is equivalent to put a minus I inside a parenthesis and put a minus j inside a pair of parentheses, and then do the multiplication. Okay? So this example is just showing that showing this ordinary plus sign, minus sign have a higher priority than this three operator, multiplication, division, and the remainder. Now, what is this? What is this guy? This guy means we do J over K first. So, and then plus I, because you have nothing on the left of this plus sign. So this plus sign must be what? Must be honorary operator. So you can put a parenthesis outside this plus I. So you see this, it represents this. Now, I have to mention at this time, in fact, you don't need to remember all this kind of priority rule. She has a table of priority of all the operators. And sometimes you will not be able to remember all this priority rule. The way to deal with this situation is to put parentheses. I don't mind in your program. You want to write this and you write this way, which is okay. And the reason is that for other people or for those people who are taking over your program later, he or she may not be know the priority rule of C language. But you put parentheses here, it is easier to read for the other people to take over your program. So put the parentheses is kind of very good way to make your program clear, okay, and easy to read. So don't hesitate to put parentheses. You are not sure about the precedent rule of C. Now, the next topic is talking about association. Okay, associativity. Okay, is talking about a sequence of operators that put together, and which one you should do first. Okay, now an operator is say that associated if it is grouped from left to right. Okay. On the other hand, it is called right associated. If it is grouped from right to left. Okay? Now let's using example, maybe easier to understand. When you take a look at this, I minus j minus k, what are you going to do? Obviously, we have two choices. The choice one is choice two. The first option is I minus j first, then the result minus k. The second option is j minus k first, and then the result is subtract from variable I. obviously, these two options get total different answer, right? Right? These two kind of interpretation give you two different answers. And which one is correct? Which one is using by C? The C is using the first one, which is called left associative. It means we have the same priority operator. Minus sign have the same priority. Now, with the same priority, we do computation from left first, and then it continues to the right. Okay? So it's from left to right. We call it left associative. Now, similarly, I times J divided by K. Since multiplication and division have the same priority, have the same precedent rule, have the same precedent priority. So is also that associate. Similarly, we have two kind of interpretation of this statement, of this expression. We can do option one, and option two. Option one is I times J first, and then divided by K. This is first option. Option two is J divided by K first, and then times I. Okay? So, which one is used by C? The option one is used by C because using that associative. Okay? Right associative is we group the statement from right to left. Now, what's this? Ordinary arithmetic operator plus and minus are both right associative. Now you see this statement, which is equal to what? Which is equal to this one. Okay? It's kind of weird because this kind of programming style is not common, okay? In many programs. So it's meaningless to write a statement like this. We can, because the plus sign has no impact on the result. So you can just put the minus I, it will be sufficient, okay? And put minus plus I is meaningless, okay? But a C standard just define how it will be performed. Now the problem here is a UPC check digit, okay? And I'm going to skip this example. I leave it for you to study yourself because we have kind of slow internal our lecture, so I'm going to skip this UPC.C example. Okay. Now basically just using all the stuff we're talking about before. So you should not have any difficulty to read the example, to understand the example. Now assignment operator, simple assignment. Okay? Simple assignment means you just store a value into a variable. Okay, so you have a variable A and equal to 5. Okay. In C, it does not mean the equality in regular mathematical sense. It means an operation. Okay, it means an operation. What kind of operation is that? We call it assignment operation. We're talking about this many times. It means we put a value of 5 into variable A, and A occupy a memory space, and this space is solely used by A variable. Okay, and it's integer. So conceptually, we can write a 5 here. It means A variable now have a integer representation of 5 in using this memory location. Now we spent 2 weeks to introduce the representation, the notation used by computer. Okay, and we also have a quiz on that. So you guys should have some concept, some idea about how computer deal with information and deal with data. Okay? Now, compound assignment, which I will not encourage too much, okay, to use. Okay, it means it used for updating a value already stored in a variable. Now we'll see some example here. Okay, let's see simple assignment first. Simple assignment is very easy, just to write this. V equal to E just means we take the value of variable E and save into variable V. So after this statement, now the memory location of I have a value of 5. Now, then we take this step, this statement, J equal I. It means we take the value of I and assign to the variable J. Now J also has a value of 5. Now K is equal to 10 times I plus J. Now we know multiplication have a higher priority. So you will do first. So I have a value of 5. 5 times 10, we got 50. And then we plus J. J have a value of 5. So 50 plus 5 give us 55. So K is now 55 because of this assignment operation. We assign 55 to variable K. Now also a simple assignment. Now in this slide, the simple assignment has mentioned about implicit, okay, type conversion, okay, because of the difference between in and the float. Okay, now I is integer variable, F is a float variable. Now I is an integer variable. You say this number 72.99 is a floating representation. Now, if you want to say this value into I is integer. Sorry, that I cannot say. I is not able to say this fraction part. So the way she do it is truncate the fraction part. So I variable now will say the value of 72. So this is I variable, and this is 72. And the type is integer. Now, F equal 136. And what's in F now? In 136.0. And it's a data type of float. The reason I put a 0.0 is to emphasize, okay, to emphasize F is a floating point type of value, available, floating type available. NEC, we call it float, okay? Okay, let's take a 10-minute break.